Lisa Nichols came up with this idea. She got it from somebody else. Okay, like a lot of things in life, right? And so this is something that she's done a talk called "How to Create Powerful Connections." Okay, so instead of using the 30-second elevator pitch, which never really worked anyway, instead she's got something called S.N.A.A.P, and it's super networking at an accelerated pace. So very basically, Christo, you want to whip to the next slide there? The benefits of it are to save time, get a faster connection, obtain more valuable contacts, and it replaces, like I said, the boring elevator pitch. So if you want to jump to the next one, this is how it works, okay? We want to stop talking about what we do and start talking about the results of what we do, okay? So you think about the wins that you're going to create for the client. You speak to the results. You don't make them guess, and you tell them what you create, okay? And then readily let them know what's in it for them, okay? Without saying those words, of course, okay? And always end with a question. So just to be aware, when you first do this, it's probably not going to be your best snap, okay? So obviously, as you do it more often, it gets better. Okay, so there's two things to consider. Okay, there's two things to consider. You may find that if you write it down and you try to speak it the way that you would read it, that it doesn't feel very natural. The idea is to use this in a scenario where you're actually networking physically at a networking event. So it needs to be sharp, it needs to be snappy, it needs to be to the point, it needs the other person to be saying subconsciously to themselves, hey, that's me. So, or I know somebody. Then they'll be thinking that the whole way through what you're saying, but you're not saying it and you're not asking for it. So when you're at the end, you say, who do you know? They're like, me? What about me? Or immediately they're like, no, it's not me, but I know exactly who I can point you to. So that's really what we're looking for. Yeah, if everyone could. Christo, can you mute everybody? Apart from me.
That's actually Donna.
Ah, Donna.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what you do and what results are you creating? Okay, so we want to be as descriptive and emotive as possible. So as a result of working with me, clients get to feel this, this, and this. We want to actually also create an emotional relativity bridge, okay? And so this is a part of the hero's journey. Okay, so anybody heard of the hero's journey before? Oh, okay. I can't remember who came up with it, but I'm sure we can drop the YouTube clip in here and you can listen to the story of the hero's journey. But basically, it talks about going through a dip, okay? So going through a period where things were very difficult and they had to dig deep into themselves and come out with some sort of quality that allowed them to succeed in the end, despite circumstances that were difficult, challenging or whatever, right? So we want to use that in our S.N.A.P, okay? And Christo is going to give you a good example of this S.N.A.P so you get an idea. And then state what you're looking for. I'm looking for individuals who. I'm looking for people who want, what do they want? Okay, what type of people? Be very, very specific. And then at the end say, who do you know? And then stop there. So what I would not suggest is say, who do you know who maybe, if it's not too much bother, would like to maybe talk to me for a few minutes and it's free and don't go there. Just say, who do you know? It's much, much more effective. So Christo, you want to give an example?
Sure, yeah, I'll give an example. So I might say, and obviously some of you know how the S.N.A.P goes, but first I want to pick what is it that I'm looking to promote and get clients for or whatever. So I'm gonna use mushroom coffee for this specific example. So as a result of drinking my reishi coffee blend, people from all around the world have experienced a sense of relief from anxiety, from depression, and some have even experienced miraculous changes within their body that have helped them overcome physical ailments. Because, at least for myself, I know what it's like to fall to the wayside with anxiety, with depression, to not feel so good because there's something going on in my body that I don't understand. So now I'm looking for more people that want to just feel better, that want to have a sense of ease in the body so they can do whatever they like doing without having to worry about pain or stress. Who do you know? Tell me I wasn't muted this whole time.
No, that would be amusing. No, that was a wonderful snap. Thanks for that, Christoph. So, Christoph, what's the reading order that we're going to go through?
We've got Donna first, and then Jim, and then Celeste, and then Grant, and then Kojan, and then Maria, David, you, Gillian, myself.
Okay, cool. So this is what I'd like you guys to do. So Donna, don't, this might be difficult in case this is a habit you have. Don't overthink this. Okay. Just think about, what do you do? And you can take any aspect of what you do. And just think, what are the results? What brought you to wanting to help people with that? Who are you looking for? And then who do you?
Okay. Could I maybe not go first, if that's okay, or?
Yeah.
Well, technically okay. You're going second, but.
Oh yeah, I suppose it's something brand. This is something brand new to me, though.
Oh, sure.
That's okay. That's okay.
We can maybe. Okay, so who has not done a snap before? Let's have a look. I can't see everyone's face. So if you have not done a snap before, please stick a number 1 in the chat. Okay, so Christoph, maybe you can just change the order around so that the people who have not done one are at the end, and the people who have done one are earlier.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Gillian, David, Donna. By the way, guys, you're going to love this. Once you get used to this, this is such a massive tool to use, especially when you're talking to people online and just focusing on building relationships and they ask you questions. We got Rosie, Masha. Oh, Lisa's here. Okay. Okay, guys. So yeah, we'll start off with Jim, then go to Celeste, Grant, Kojan, Lloyd, and then we can go through all the newbies to the snap: Gillian, David, Donna, Rosie, Masha, and Lisa, or Liza. Do you want to start off, Jim?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of what to go with.
Okay, no problem.
With that, let me see. As a result of working with different mastermind leaders within Noble Goldman, I myself have grown as a leader over the course of the last year. From working with these with great leaders, I've grown as a leader myself. What I'm looking for people who want to grow, who want to build themselves up as leaders, and people who also who want to learn a new skill. Who do you know?
Excellent. That was really good, Jim. Thanks for that.
Celeste, you're next.
Yeah, right. I was on a mastermind call once, and Mark Santos said, start your snap with, as a result of everybody wanting to join my business. So here we go. As a result of everybody wanting to join my health drink business, people's hearts have become ever so grateful as they see the hungry children of the world being fed every time they buy a bag of this health drink. People are totally amazed as they see their health improving, while their waistlines are getting slimmer, as their wallets are getting fatter. Who do you know who wants to feed the hungry, improve their own health, and fatten their wallet?
That's awesome. Any comments, guys? Any comment, Lloyd? Anybody else?
That was really enjoyable. I love listening to that, Celeste. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any constructive criticism from anyone, or are we happy with that?
I would
I mean-
just say at the end, like Lloyd had recommended it. So when she said, "Who do you know?" just end there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Grant.
Okay. As a result of the Bikram yoga I teach, I help people live a healthy life by reducing stress, boosting the immune system, slimming down, and overall better health and wellness. Who do you know?
Very quick. Very quick to the point, and that's good. However, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to come in with some constructive criticism. You might want to take them a bit like more on an emotive journey. Okay. The reason I say that is because humans are emotional creatures, and if they hear what you just said, they might not even like it was so quick that I might not have even had time to process it, right? Whereas if you slow it down and you slow down the language and you also use emotive language and you take them through that epiphany sort of bridge, that emotional relativity bridge, then what will happen is you'll trigger something in the person that allows them to actually listen and hear what you're saying. That'll be my 2 pence on it, but I'd love to hear what others think.
No, that was good, Crystals. Thank you. And what were you saying? If you used what kind of nuances? What were you saying?
Yeah, like this. I call it. There's lots of different words. I think Russell Brunson calls it the epiphany bridge. Lloyd was calling it the hero's journey. This is where you kind of show your own vulnerability of where you came from, so people don't think that you're just this person that's perfect, right? So when you share where you've come from and that you have been down and now you're up, you have been under and now you're above type of thing, or you were in pain and now you're in pleasure, people see a sense of authenticity in you as a person and where you've come from and how you've grown and stuff like that. And it almost gives more validity to what you're saying. Even though you've just given the validity in terms of the results, it's good to bring yourself into it as well.
Interesting. Yeah, so throw in a little bit about where you were at, where what it's done for you personally, maybe.
Right, like you could say, I know what it's like to be to be wallowing unconsciously using toxic habits, because I used to. You could even be really honest and say, I used to have a problem with this, or I used to. It could be anything like that, And then after you share that, now I'm looking for, and you tell them exactly who you're looking for, and if you can be specific with who you're looking for, it'll get them thinking who exactly could benefit from this, and sometimes it could actually just be them.
Well, the thing is, it could be anybody. Like I could take anybody in the call and sell them on it without a sweat. You know what I'm saying? So
right, exactly. It could be anybody. It just depends on what you're doing, right?
Okay.
Cool. But like even in so that's all I'd say. Just
that's great.
And the vulnerability.
Good stuff.
Anybody else have any comments, or should we move on?
Right. Okay.
Anybody else?
Maybe just like you said, just spend some time to maybe identify what maybe 3 things that people will benefit. It's called a trifecta of value. And then look at the reasons why you do what you do. So that's the emotional bridge, typically. And then who am I looking for? Okay, so I'm looking for people who, and then just keep it short. Who do you know? Yeah, that's what I would say. So just spend a little bit of time on that. I know you did this before, Grant, and it was quite long, and there was quite a lot of things that it did.
All right.
And then you shortened it down to the point where it's now too short. So somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, Grant, can I throw something in?
Yeah, help yourself. Fire away.
Grant, do you know how the lads are saying there about just kind of making it emotional? That best way to push it is your snap would be like how in one way you're telling the results of to a friend of yours that's never done it before. So say if you're trying to get Christos or myself or Lloyd into this, you're kind of giving you'd be telling us the results. This worked in this way, and this how it worked for me. And by putting that into, like as lads are saying, you're kind of you're relating to your own experience.
Okay.
But instead of rushing it, like I have to get this out as quickly as possible.
Right.
You're taking your time, and you're being as clear as possible as you can with your friend. You know what I mean? So he retains all the information instead of this. Whereas instead of you're thinking, oh, I've got 30 seconds with a customer, I need to get it in, and then about 10 seconds in, you lose them because you're trying to rush it. Just talk to a customer or someone with your snap like you're talking to a friend who you're trying to go, look, I'm showing you this for your own well-being kind of way. So then that way it's like you're straight away building a friendly connection with whoever you're giving your snap to.
Gotcha. Kind of touching on what Christos was saying earlier, but how it works for me, and as opposed to just a homework assignment. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good stuff. I appreciate that.
No problem. You're welcome.
Is that me next?
Grant is, Kojan's next.
Okay.
Me is next. Okay. So, as a result of my service, I want to blend beauty and power together to. Okay, I lost what I have written. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. As a result of my service that I want to show and blend beauty and power together, people from all over the world will benefit from using their power as ladies and as women, the power of their femininity to create and create things alongside with others in the business. Because personally, I have felt, seen, and been through these kind of circumstances where females are usually try to be dimmed and trying to be more masculinized, let's just say, because they have the wrong belief that the power is only in the masculinity, which is not true. Both sides are creating the world. Both sides are creating success. Now, I am looking for females who think they want to upgrade and also make their beauty and power and blend them together, and men who find kind of difficult to see the vision or want to use feminine energy, and also females in companies and also in organizations with that has been searched for to have a lot of big, huge impact when feminine energy has been blended with big contracts, whether it is diplomatic or business or any. Who do you know?
Thanks, Kojan. I just want to open it up if anybody would like to jump in and.
I got something.
First of all, I
Okay.
love the energy. That's the first thing. It was really good from that perspective. What I would suggest is also the emotional bridge was there, partially, and also as a result and what people would feel and do and get, that was there. What I would suggest maybe is that when you're talking about who you're looking for, we got to be identified, just for the purpose of this, that there's one type of person, like a niche, that you're going to identify that you want to help, and you can't be helping them with everything, because then you're not helping them with anything. So we just pick one thing and then focus on exactly how you can help one type of individual. I think that would be helpful. Otherwise, it's good.
So I think my description was not right, or I didn't forward it in a correct way, because my aim was helping men and women using the feminine energy,
No,
embracing
definitely it came across with what you wanted to say, but
Yeah.
just a little bit more practice with that. Well done. What are you saying, Brad?
Thank you. I thought it was fantastic. One thing I was going to ask is I love the message behind it. And like you said, Lloyd, the energy was awesome. Maybe shorten it up a little bit, condense it. And of course, also, I was wondering, Kujin, have you seen the, Lisa Nichols, that video, the description for that? What was the name of that again, guys?
Yeah, I know. It's on the Noble Goldman. Yeah.
Oh, you've already seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I know it has kind of Robbie things, and it was kind of length, but I wrote it so fast and I didn't know what to say, and it just came. So yeah.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It was great, Kojin. It was
You're only
great.
gonna get better the more you do it.
It was great. No, it was great. It will always improve. So let's go on to who do we have next? Gillian, do you want to have a go?
Would you like me to go?
Would you like to go?
Sure.
Sure.
No time like the present.
Okay.
I have watched the video and that, so I'm just gonna go. All right. So as a result of me working one-on-one with people, teaching them how to master their minds, the people who work with me in our masterminds will receive benefits such as my skills and tools that I'll be sharing with them on how to master their mind, on how to achieve peace and calm, confidence and self-esteem, because I'm a hypnotherapist. And over the years, I have learned these tools and strategies from being a place of, dealing with anxiety and depression myself. I have been able to overcome and manage these things. So as a result of working one-on-one with me and in my mastermind, people will receive these benefits on a consistent basis. So I am looking for individuals who are wanting personal development, wanting to make lasting change, who want to have an undeniable belief in themselves that they can achieve absolutely anything that they set their minds and hearts to. And
what I find interesting about us as individual human type creatures is that we all hear things differently. So when the same thing is said, we all hear it differently. And you'll notice that when we all put our takeaways from this call in the group chat, you're going to see some very different perspectives on the same thing. You're right, Kojin, in the sense Gillian said as a result, and then went back to as a result. And then and so it was there, but I think the guts of it is there, Gillian.
Yeah.
I think some of the terms you used, I was like, oh, that's good. I like that. That was really, I can't remember any of them right now, but that's okay.
Neither can I.
I'm not doing a test or anything, so it's all right. So that part's really good. I'd say just work on structuring a little bit, and then start getting used to doing that delivery. And I suppose it will vary depending on where you were using it.
Right.
I like the way you tied it back in with the mastermind.
Right.
Because I wasn't sure whether you were going to do that or not, but then it came back in again. So well done.
Okay.
Is that your first time, or have you done it before, Jill?
That's my first time doing live. I mean, I've sort of done it in my head, and I haven't really wrote it down or anything. I kind of just, decided to just tap in and just flow with it, just to see, what it was like sounding the first time.
Yeah, I like it for a first time. It's
yeah, what I meant was the same thing that Lloyd just said. I was fascinated as well, but just construction, that's all I'm pointing on. But it was amazing. Like, it was so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you for that. Also, just quickly, one thing that I was taught, I'm also a master practitioner of NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming. When we're giving feedback, we should focus on when you're speaking. This is not a criticism to anybody. I love everything and all that you're saying because it only helps me be better. However, when you offer comments, say what you liked best and what you'd like to see more of, and try not to use the sentence or the word but in, say, for instance, like, I really like this, but, because my unconscious mind is only going to concentrate on what you're saying after the but. It negates anything that you said before that.
It is interesting that you say that, actually, Gillian. I was thinking I'm in something called Toastmasters.
Yes.
Okay? And one of the guys did a a talk called "The C Word." I know you're thinking, but the word was criticism
Yeah.
in this case, and so he said that it's something they don't use. So they talk about what they liked in a variety of areas, then suggestions,
Yeah.
and then they bring it back to something positive. Yeah, so maybe that's a good way we should go about this as well. For
Yeah.
all of us.
It's
So,
just
Chris,
not something that we're taught. That's
no,
all.
sure. You know, I had to learn it in Toastmasters when I wrote my first few reviews, and I was like, oh, better take that.
And it'll help us with our teams, right?
Yeah.
Like as we do our masterminds,
Sure.
because you will get a different result from the person who's listening to your feedback.
For sure.
Yeah.
Christo,
Yeah,
who's up
thank you
next?
for that. Thank you for that.
Who's up next, Christo?
The next is David.
Let's go, Dave.
My name's David. I'm a mastermind team leader for Noble Goldman. And as a result of working with me, people get a proven system that can help them accomplish more in 1 year than they would do on their own in an entire lifetime. And I know what it's like to feel completely overwhelmed, like there's not enough time in life to accomplish all your dreams, the really big things that are inside of your mind that you just don't feel like you'll ever have enough time to do. And now I'm looking for, people who want to accomplish more through the timeless mastermind principle in the book, Think and Grow Rich, than they could on their own an entire lifetime. Who do you know?
Wow.
I really love that, man. The conviction in that was amazing.
That was awesome, David. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. Can we join your mastermind, bro?
Yeah, I want to join your mastermind, man.
That was really good. That was really good.
That was awesome.
By the way, I know you say David is a rock star, but he's also been listening to rock star affirmations for half an hour already this morning. So he's like,
okay, that's funny.
Fire. That's great, Dave. Thanks, man.
It's clear that he is.
So who's next?
Donna.
There we go, Donna. This is your opportunity to shine now.
Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Donna, and for the last 2.5 years, I've been benefiting from taking CBD. As a result, I have felt a huge positive impact on my health and well-being. I know what it's like to be in pain and suffer from a lack of sleep, and it had a huge impact on my life. I'm now looking for individuals that can benefit from the health benefits too, as well as the wealth benefits. Who do you know?
Right, but I think the structure and for your first time is fantastic. So
Okay,
well
thank you.
done. We've got Rosie next.
Hello. So what I might do, because I haven't got a business as such online, so if I use my actual day job as an example, is that okay?
Well, what is it that you want to do? Do you know what you want to do, Rosie? Do you want to be?
No.
Okay. You could use your day job. Yeah, have a bash. We'll see what it sounds like.
Okay, that's fine. So, hi, I'm Rosie. I work as an occupational therapist in mental health. And as a result of working with me, you will learn various techniques to reduce anxiety. I know what it's like to suffer from anxiety. It's affected me previously, and it had a massive impact on my sleep, but I've managed to overcome it. So I'm now looking for individuals who want to take ownership of their lives and use proven anxiety management techniques to live a more independent and fulfilling life. Who do you know?
Love it. That was really good, Rosie.
Very nice.
Oh, thanks.
And great energy as well. Very clear, very, very high energy, which is great. And the other thing as well is that there's two things we can do here. You can, first of all, the call we did just before this, was an NG Insights call, which if you're wondering what you want to be doing or what you want to aim for, you should also be on that call. So I'm going to send you the link to book in for that next week.
Okay, thank you.
It'll help give some perspective on that. The other thing is that we can also look at what do we do? You did a great job there, but also what do we want to do but use this as an affirmation.
Okay.
So you can talk about your business as if it's already there, because it's very much more likely to happen if you're talking it into existence.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of
Otherwise,
sense.
I thought it was really good. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Roisin, can I throw something in there? One thing I think might be very beneficial for you on that is where you're aiming towards anxiety and that side of things. What a lot of people don't realize is by sorting out their sleep, it actually has a massive effect on people's anxiety levels. And
Yeah.
like if that's the road you want to go down, it might be no harm to target how your teachings and your systems will affect your sleep, which will then in tune help your anxiety. And when you're really getting on top of your sleep and your anxiety levels start to lower, then you also have other systems there to really take it down even more. So a selling point for you could be the sleep, because I know a lot of people suffer from, due to anxiety, very broken sleep. The sleep area, like the sleep area, could be your niche market. Just something to target, something to think about.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, can I say something quick, Rosie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. But you started off the thing saying you don't have a business, but you're on the Gold Star call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, don't you?
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good
it was
point.
really good.
Good point, David. Anyway,
Thank
look,
you.
guys, let's get mashes. Maria's.
Yeah. So I've just wrote it down here while you guys were talking, and I was thinking about it, and I guess just like Lloyd said, I overthink it, and I'm sure that I overthought it. Okay, so here it goes. I wasn't born with a user manual, so I wasn't born with a user manual on how to find the ultimate health and wellness. And being a mom of 2 young girls, I've realized how important it is to convey a positive image about our bodies. So as a result of investing and working alongside with me in a business that its main focus is to provide and create healthy habits for people all around the world, we tended to experience an overall wellness and overall health. So I'm looking for individuals that their overall wellness is their priority. Who do you know?
I really liked the beginning. It was different to what we hear most of the time, and it was very human and emotive, and I felt connected to it. I'd love to hear more. Well, actually, no, that was quite good, to be honest with you. I'd like to hear it again, maybe. I'd love to hear what other people think.
Could I throw something in there?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
You started off making it very personal, and I think you couldn't have started it off as well as you did. You know, you couldn't have started off any better. But what you could have brought it in then to in the middle is how, by your teachings, you've helped people to hit a certain level. So you're like the start bit, you're making it personal for yourself. The second part, you're making it personal for the customers, something that people can connect into, not only with you, but also from a person they've never met before. And then on the end, you're going, who do you know? Whereas where you started off perfectly, making it very personal about yourself, you kind of stagnated on it a small bit instead of linking it into people, your customers and the people who, you're showing other people's results and where other people are getting the benefits from your teachings, if you get me. So I just think in the middle, if you can just kind of explain how, say, Lloyd has gotten this result from working with our teachings, Christos has gotten this result, or you can give the slightly different results they both got from your teachings. Because not, if you get my drift.
Well, Marcia, happy to connect with you and happy to talk to you. I really wanted to see more energy. You know the phrase that people say, people will forget what you said to them, but will never forget how you make them feel. So if you can just grasp the energy, the positivity in your words and express it, that'll be amazing. Thank you.
I was gonna add something quick if that's okay.
Go ahead, Dave.
So I heard a really good snap there, and then there was just one word that I would work on tweaking. Is that where you said our clients tended to experience these results. I think when somebody hears that subconsciously, the first thing they're going to start thinking is some people got results and some people didn't get results. That's kind of what I hear. I'm not sure about anybody else, but I would tweak that word to make it sound like you're more confident, like people get these results. And, just stand behind that benefit and take that one little word out. Sometimes it's the really small things that people hear, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave, agree with that. So Masha, the beginning of it really, really drew us all in. And because you have a very, very soft voice and you also speak very deliberately, it really brings you in. It's like the use of pauses, right? Where there's enough of a gap in between words that people are leaning in to hear the next word, which is very effective. Just after that, you first talked about you, then you talked about other people, but then you started talking about how when they work with the company rather than working with you. So people buy into you, not the company you're working with, which is part of the reason why Noble Goldman is where we're focusing our attention, because we're building our relationships with other individuals and the company and the product, the services, and that all gets added on the back end of it. So maybe just that would be something to focus on as you kind of work your way through it and get used to, repeating it a few times until you're comfortable with that. But I would keep it at the same pace as the beginning, because although David is super excited and people can be excited by that, that's how David is. Right? So you then have this very soft, very deliberate way of speaking, which draws people in. So each person has a different quality, and it's that authenticness. I don't think that's a word, but you get the idea.
Authenticity.
There you go. that people will buy into, right?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, by the way. Because I don't think we need to pretend to be anybody else. Just be yourself. I think it was really great at the beginning, Masha. And if we just work on the middle and the end, and you just continue to talk the way that you're talking, be yourself. I don't think we need,
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I had a guy on my team years ago, one of my best friends, and his name's Robbie Savage, right? And he's a very, very unique individual. But because of Organo and network marketing in general is a very positive environment where everyone's like super nice, he thought it was like people were being too nice and it wasn't real. And he had to create this character called Organo Bob. And he's go, "Hi, I'm Organo Bob. How you doing?" Because he couldn't naturally be himself while being positive. He come from a chefing background where everyone's like real hard nosed. So he wasn't being himself. He wasn't taking it on as a part of his own personality, but he was just trying to be someone else. Right? Obviously, that's a fairly humorous example. But for each of us, we need to be ourselves while transmitting value to other people, letting them know what it can do for them, what's in it for them, who we're looking for, and who do they know. So we don't put people under pressure to feel like they have to be the end user of whatever it is we're talking about. They might refer us to loads of people if we present it in the right way, even if it's not for them. Okay. So Christo, back to you. And then Lisa's up next, right?
Yeah. She's still here?
It's me?
Oh, there
okay.
You go.
Okay, I'm next. I'm trying to. Am I on?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Sorry. Okay. Um, I've got two, but I'm trying to figure out which one it is. So I think I'm going to do the
Just do
noble
it.
gold.
Sure, yeah, just do whichever one. Let's go.
Okay. This is my first, so I apologize.
No need to
but
apologize. No need to
I'll try
apologize.
my best. Okay. What I do is I host a Joy Now for All Mastermind. I am a prosperity and joy mastermind practitioner. As a result, I help people from all different levels of where they are at the present moment, and I guide them to understand and to improve their daily experiences and try to make each day the best day for them. I know what it feels like to not have sense of direction, or not to be centered, or how to not be able to tap my joy, or find release and joy, and helping others has made a great difference in their lives. I'm looking for individuals that want that support and want that guidance. Who do you know?
Thanks, Lisa. I'm just gonna jump in straight in there, and just, I think that was great, especially for a first one. I would suggest maybe at the beginning, if you, it was a very good ending, by the way, David just said, and I agree. It got better as it went on. At the beginning, I would say, as a result, and then just put in what you do. So rather than telling people who you are right at the beginning, which you can do, you could just go, as a result of my work as a blah, 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 and then people of blah, blah, blah have experienced this, that, and the other. Another thing I noticed was that you used the word try at some point in there. And I noticed that, and I felt, and if we come back, I'm sure Gillian might have something to say here because she's a hypnotherapist. But the word try sort of doesn't show that there's like an absolute result, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
That's the feeling that I got. But I'd love to hear from someone else.
Hey,
I'm going to pipe in about the try word, right? So we all know who Yoda is. He says, do or do not, right? There is no try. And so what it is that, and there's a really cool technique that I could show you one day. However, what it is that our unconscious mind it understands yes or no. It's very, very, distinct and clear. When you say try, you're kind of going, you're kind of left in limbo. So when you're, going to do something or make a decision, it's yes, I'm going to, or no, I'm going to, or oh, I'll have to think about that. But try, is a word that you have to be careful with using.
Thank you. I wasn't even aware that I even used it. So unconsciously, it's actually, you're describing probably where I am.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and
I'm
it is
glad I'm letting go of that.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you,
unconsciously we use
you.
the word a lot. We use the word try a lot. We all do. I get caught with it.
Yeah, it comes, especially people that are really polite. Like, you apologize before you even started, and because you're a natural giver, Lisa, and you don't want to offend anybody, or you don't. It's almost, you know what I mean. So sometimes we can get caught up with that, almost being afraid to just be confident, right? So anyway, look, that's what we're here for, to help you get to that point. And I think you did a great job. I'd love to hear maybe somebody else might have somebody else. And did anybody else have any? I think, David, you would like the ending, so maybe do you want to talk about the ending?
I thought the ending was solid. I mean, you had some enthusiasm, and definitely you sounded like you were still excited, and you weren't like. I feel like sometimes when you ask that, who do you know, people subconsciously think people are gonna reject them and start telling them, I'm not interested, or I don't have anybody. You think people are gonna tell you that they don't have anybody they know. So when you ask that question to people, you kind of ask it in a way where you kind of expect no. But I just wanted to put on a little 2 cents about the try thing too. I always think of it like you know, if you were on an airplane and the pilot said, I'm going to try to land this plane, you would be horrified. You'd be scared to death. And if that airplane pilot doesn't have enough confidence to say, I'm going to land the plane now, please buckle your seatbelts, you know, that communicates confidence. So yeah, I totally agree with what Jillian says. It's so important to try to get that word out of your vocabulary sometimes, because people hear it and they're just immediately, it just makes them think that you might not believe in what you're doing. And I really think you do believe in what you're doing. And it's just tweaking those little tiny words, and then people will believe that you believe in it. But I thought it was a good try. It's this exercise was difficult. I mean, it is hard, but it was
Thank you,
good.
David. Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Also, guys, so we're coming just to the end of the mastermind, okay? So I want to be respectful of everybody's time, and also then create a small call to action. So a couple of things I would recommend between now and next week as a call to action. Okay, we don't, unfortunately, now at this point have time to actually go around each person, collect your call to action. Here's what I suggest. First of all, I want you to put your 3 takeaways from what you learned here today into the chat group, the Fun Guys Team Building Mastermind chat group. Okay. The other thing is, David had made a suggestion in his mastermind to write down 300 things that you want in life. Okay. Now, it's from a suggestion by, I can't remember, what's the guy's name, David?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, right? So we'll stick the link in, right? Here's what I'm suggesting. You're probably going to freak out at 75 things and go, I can't think of anything else. I mean, how many things could anyone possibly need, and come up with all these hilarious things you'll say to yourself. But I would really, really suggest that you write down 300 things that you want, okay? Go deep into the reasons why you want them. What color's the car going to be? How much money you're going to give to your grandkids? Like, get into it, right? And let's really get very clear on that. By this time next week, if you do it today, me and Chris are going to do it right now. Not together, obviously. If we've got different angles, right? You know, they're going to be like, oh, look at my notes, right? But we're going to be doing it individually. And then we're going to be reading it every morning and every evening. Right? Same way you don't use the word try, because it gives you an opportunity to make excuses to yourself, and excuses are reasons for failure. Okay? So read it morning and evening. I guarantee, maybe not 7 days from now, right? But 1 year from now, you got to look through that, 10% of them will be done. 10% of them will have happened already. Okay, you can rewrite them all the time. So a couple of things. We are here as team builders to build teams. Okay, so if you don't yet know how to do that, if your brand's spanking new and you haven't gone through moderator training, in other words, you don't know how to use our Facebook group or groups. One of them is Think and Grow Rich. There's about 28,000 people there waiting to join a mastermind. And if you don't talk to them, they ain't going to join your mastermind. So you best figure out how you can best have that conversation. So we've already established a structure. This structure works. You need to learn it. You need to be clear on the fact that you are in that group to develop a team of gold star leaders. You're not in that group so that you can lash out links to various business opportunities you may be involved in. Okay. And this time next week, I will be looking as a call to action to have one of your wonderful new Gold Star members on the call with us. Okay. Equally, we are not here to do snaps for an hour. Okay. It just so happens because we've got so many people who haven't done it before that it took the whole hour. What we are going to do instead is going to spend 60 seconds introducing ourselves on the next call using the snap, and then move on to a teaching topic. Okay. So when we're open for discussion on this, because it ultimately is a mastermind decision, do you guys want to do team building content every week, and once a week do something like a strict, once a month do something like a strict mastermind, or exactly how do you want this to work for you? The purpose of us meeting here is for us all to grow, not just ourselves, but also to grow our teams. And a place where somebody new coming in who's just become a gold star, like Rosie here, to get some clarity on how they can start to go and turn Noble Goldman from a liability to something you pay for, to an asset, something that pays you. Okay, so that's crucially, that's what we're here for. And if you do have a business now, Rosie, it's called Noble Goldman. Gold Star Leadership to be specific, right? So let's go out and really, really attack that. So for next week, I would highly recommend, although this is your decision to make, to write down 300 things that you want. Okay, this is not going to be easy. You're going to possibly bang your head against a wall or a window at some point during this next week to get 300 things on a piece of paper, but it's worth your while. Also, one new Gold Star member on the call with you next week. If you did that 4 times a month, well, that'd be 4, and then that'd be 16, and then that'd be 64, and then that'd be a lot, because I can't count any further than that, right? But it doesn't matter. It's your team is building, right? Is the point. So we have an opportunity each week to keep ourselves accountable and move forward. Okay. Your call to actions are your own. I'm not going to tell you what your goals should be, but this is what I'm recommending. Okay. So you can either do it or not. You can also either succeed or not. So everything is a choice in life. Okay. So I'm going to hand it back to Christo to wrap it up. Aside from that, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing your takeaways in the group chat.
Yeah, guys, I just want to take a picture before we finish. So if everybody can give a good sign, smile, everybody. Yeah.
Don't forget to smile, yeah.
Yeah, Jim's got stuck there with a frown, but that's okay. Okay, I took the picture, guys. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.